Hello and welcome to Retured. I'm Amy, and today we're going to unravel a concept that's at the very heart of how machines learn: mean squared error. It might sound a bit technical, but I promise that by the end of this video you'll not only understand it, but also see why it's so crucial for AI, from simple predictions to the complex world of generative AI and large language models. So what is mean squared error, or MSE for short? Let's break it down word by word. Mean simply means average. Squared means multiplying a number by itself. And error? Well, in the world of AI, an error is just the difference between what the AI predicted and what the actual real-world answer is. Imagine you're playing a game of darts. Your goal is to hit the bullseye. Every time you throw a dart, the distance from your dart to the bullseye is the error. Now, let's say you throw 3 darts. To measure your overall performance, you wouldn't just look at one throw, you'd look at all of them. This is where mean comes in. We want to find the average error across all your throws. But we have a small problem. Some of your darts might land above the bullseye and some might land below. If we just added these errors, a positive error above and a negative error below could cancel each other out, making it seem like you're a perfect player when you're not. To solve this, we square each error. Squaring the error does 2 very important things. First, it gets rid of any negative signs because a negative number squared is always positive. Second, it penalizes bigger errors more than smaller ones. Missing the bullseye by 2 inches is an error of 2. Squared, that's 4. But missing by 10 inches is an error of 10. And when you square that, it becomes 100. So a big miss really adds to your total score. Finally, we take the mean, or average, of all these squared errors. And that's it. That's mean squared error. It's a single number that tells us, on average, how far off our predictions are. A high MSE means our model is making significant errors, while an MSE of 0 would mean our model is perfect, which rarely happens in the real world. Now let's see this in action with a little bit of Python. Imagine we have a simple AI model that's trying to predict house prices. We have the actual prices, and we have our model's predictions. Let's calculate the MSE. We can use the popular library NumPy to make this super easy. First, we'll import NumPy. Then, we'll turn our lists into NumPy arrays. Next, we calculate the difference between the arrays to get our errors. We then square these errors, and finally we find the mean of these squared errors. It's that simple. So, how is this relevant to the broader world of AI and machine learning? Well, MSE is a type of loss function. A loss function is what we use to teach an AI model. During training, the model makes a prediction, we calculate the MSE, and then we tell the model, hey, your MSE is this high, try to get it lower. The model then adjusts its internal parameters, a little bit at a time, to try and reduce the MSE. This process is repeated thousands or even millions of times until the MSE is as low as it can be. This is the fundamental idea behind training most machine learning models for regression tasks, which are tasks where we're predicting a continuous numerical value, like a price or a temperature. Now, what about generative AI? Can we use MSE there? Absolutely. Imagine a generative AI model that creates images. One way to train such a model is to give it an image and ask it to recreate it. We can then use MSE to compare the original image and the generated one pixel by pixel. However, here we start to see some of the limitations of MSE. Because MSE averages the errors, it can sometimes lead to results that are a bit safe. For image generation, this can mean blurry images. The model learns that the best way to minimize the average error is to not take any risks and just produce an average of all the possible correct pixels. This is why more advanced generative models often use more complex loss functions, like generative adversarial networks, or GANs, which we can talk about in a future video. And what about large language models, or LLMs, like the one that helps me exist? The story is similar. While the primary training of LLMs to predict the next word in a sentence uses a different loss function called cross-entropy, MSE can still be very useful. For example, if we want to fine-tune an LLM for a specific task, that's a regression problem. We can use MSE to teach the LLM how to produce accurate ratings. So, to recap, mean squared error is a simple yet powerful tool. It gives us a way to measure how wrong an AI model is, and more importantly, it gives us a target to aim for during training. It's like a compass that guides the model towards making better and better predictions. Before we go, I want you to pause and think about this. Why do you think we square the error instead of just taking its absolute value? Both would make the error positive. What's the key difference? Share your thoughts in the comments below. It's a great way to test your understanding. Thank you for joining me today on Retured. I hope you now have a clearer understanding of mean-squared error and its vital role in the world of AI. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into the technology that is shaping our future. I'm Amy, and I'll see you in the next one.